Hello, Likers. Welcome back to our channel. It's me, your fave, your one and only, your baby girl, Malaika. So, Likers, today we are doing a critical review of Mr. Aloy series, When Marriage Becomes a Nightmare, episode 41. It starts with a maker, who came to pay a visit to his friend Jonathan. But his visit is not an empty visit. He came with a courtesy visit, and he had some juicy things for him. So, Emeka came and made Jonathan to understand that he has this juicy contract that is going to change his life. And we all know Jonathan loves big talk, big things, contracts, and stuff like that. Emeka knew exactly what he was going to do to Jonathan, because already he has this plan of wanting to cripple Jonathan, by starting with his car, because he knows how much Jonathan loves his car. So he knew that Jonathan would not hesitate to want to know about the contract, because immediately he told Jonathan about the contract. Like, you have to invest 10 million naira, and in the space of a week you make 50 million, you make 40 million extra, which means you get 50 million naira, plus a 10 million, the 40 million, 50, like altogether, which means you make a profit of 40 million naira. And Jonathan is not even bothered to ask if this scheme was a good one, or if it was a prank whatsoever. But to him, Jonathan sees that Emeka is his friend, Emeka is his paddy, this is his person. Emeka wants what's best for him. According to Jonathan, Emeka can never do any wrong in his eyes. So but now the problem is, where will Jonathan get this 10 million? He's wondering, because haba 10k to get 50k after 40k benefit, that money is too much now. But one thing sometimes we fail to ask when people bring us juicy opportunities is that, what do you stand to gain? You understand? What do you stand to gain? That person that is bringing you that story, what is the person's interest? Because we all love juicy things. Why don't you want this opportunity? Why bring it to me? So Jonathan decided that he's going to see his old friend Kenny, who is the money man, so that Kenny could give him 10 million. As if 10 million is 10 naira, or is 10,000, or is 100,000. This is 10 million we are talking about. And eventually we all know that Maker will try to discourage him, make him understand that Kenny is the devil himself. Because Emeka knows that Kenny is a very reasonable person. As a reasonable person that Kenny is, Kenny will never, want this guy to invest that money like that, because already Kenny knows that it is a scam. But Emeka being dumb the way he is, Jonathan being dumb the way he is, Jonathan will not ask questions, because Jonathan is desperate. So definitely, Emeka knows this. So the next scene shows Jonathan, who goes to see Kenny, to tell Kenny about this wonderful opportunity, juicy even, that is going to fetch him cash. And to him, he was more like, at least, this will stop me from begging you money, all the time, all those petty cash that you're giving me. Like, if he sells the dream and everything. But we all know Kenny is a very reasonable man. Yes, and that Kenny will not just carry, because it's Jonathan says so. Kenny will not just carry 10 million and hand it over like that without knowing where the money is. And Jonathan does not want to explain, because he knows that Kenny might just kick against. But finally realize that Kenny cannot depart with 10 million like that without knowing where that money is going to. And now when Jonathan explained to Kenny, make him understand that, okay, the engineer in question is a real estate company, and it is a friend to Emeka who owns the company. As soon as Kenny hears Emeka, Kenny knew that it was a scam. But the only person who does not know that it is a scam is Jonathan, because Jonathan is so gullible. Jonathan is like trust Kenny, trust a maker who wants to destroy him, but he doesn't trust Kenny. So to Jonathan, this opportunity is golden because it will make him to bounce back. Jonathan is looking for means to bounce back, you understand, and this is the perfect opportunity for him to bounce back to his feet, for him to become the big Joe, you understand. And Kenny is even trying to make him understand that, guy, this is a scam. Do you so are you trying to say that this guy loves you so much, right? Kenny, Emeka who loves money like what? Emeka will love you so much as to give you a deal, that will fetch you 50 million naira with 40 million naira benefit, and does not want it. To him, Kenny is trying to discourage him, whereas Emeka is bringing an opportunity to him. Like us, there are some people sometimes that if you see them going into a hole, let them go. When they're falling, let them pick them up when they're falling. Unfortunately, Jonathan is like one of those people. Let them learn their lesson by themselves. If not, they'll never understand how life works. Yes, because irrespective of what Kenny will say now, Jonathan will always be bent on the fact that Kenny does not want him to prosper. Yes, because that is what Emeka has put in his mind. Kenny does not want you to prosper. Kenny is jealous. So finally, Kenny realized that he cannot argue, decided to leave. And he paid the bills despite being invited by Jonathan, because he knows that Jonathan is broke. He will not be able to pay the bill. So he chose to pay for him. So the next thing shows Jonathan went back home. Teresa was sitting watching TV. And definitely Jonathan is exhausted. He's angry. He's not happy, with the outcome, because this was not how he saw himself. He saw himself that he has hit, a jackpot, a beautiful contract, that was going to help him bounce back. And now his friend that he was imagining, Kenny, who was going to help him get the contract, is rather discouraging him, And to him, this is something to really make him be back like the big boy in town, because that is what he wants. He wants to impress. There are people who live to impress. Yes, there are people who want to impress others. They live their life for you. Yes, that's why you see on social media everybody is rich. Everyone is rich. Yeah. So like she's telling Teresa, and even Teresa is making him understand that money is too much. That money is, where would you get that kind of money? 10 million. He said honestly he will get the money, because he knows that business is a very good opportunity. And even his daughter, who is a child, 16-year-old, is making her father to understand that money is too much. And you know very well that it is practically impossible for you to handle any business. Your own business, you could not handle it. So how would you want to execute a contract worth 10 million, to get 50 million? Don't go to, to her, it's more like she's trying to protect her father for him not to go to jail. Yes, because if her father goes to jail now, what will happen? She does not want her father to go to jail. So she's trying her best to warn him. But her father is looking at it that this is his little brat, she's just being rude. She's being her mother's daughter, and to him, he's too good, to do anything that he wants. He set his mind. To him, his daughter is just being petty and evil. That's how he sees it. He doesn't see it that it is a warning. He doesn't see it as, even Teresa that supports him. Teresa is one of his number one supporters, but even Teresa at this point is scared. Yes, Teresa at this point is scared, because Teresa has seen time and time and again how this guy have effed up. So how would you wake up all of a sudden to do a business worth 50 million naira? Yes, plus a benefit and everything. So now to him, his daughter is being rude and he wants to beat her because she's trying to make him understand that, Dad, this will be too much even for you to handle. You are not qualified. He will be insulting his daughter. Despite her being worried, genuinely worried for her dad. Yes, it's true that it is the way she puts it, it doesn't look okay, because she's not happy with the way her father has been behaving, and she's trying to make her father understand that because he's explaining that Emeka got him the deal, but to him his daughter is being petty. That's why she wants to say those things, because Emeka is his good friend. He doesn't understand why is it that his daughter does not like Emeka. So the next scene shows Jonathan. We went to give feedback to Emeka how he did not succeed. How Kenny, he should have listened to Emeka. Kenny is not a good friend and everything. Like, he went to lament, because right now it's more like Emeka is his dad. Somebody will buy you food and ask you to pay back. So now Emeka brought this juicy proposition. I don't know why is it that Jonathan cannot see that it's too good to be true. That he'll bring him somewhere where somebody will lend him some money, will lend him the 10 million naira. All you have to do is to put his car as a collateral. And once he's done, he will pay back the loan and collect his car. That is all. No other interest, nothing. And you believe it so much. You just believe it to be true. And to him, he's seen now that Emeka is his God. Emeka is the one that is here to save his life. Yes, Emeka is the best friend that he has. So the next thing shows Jonathan, who went home, excited because of what him and Emeka discussed. And they did not only discuss, even though they didn't show it, Emeka actually took him to their place and they gave him the loan of the 10 million naira. So now he's returning home, a happy man, because the money is in his account. All he needed to do was to go and give his car documents. He just needed to hand them over the car document, and that was it, and the money is his. He's so excited because from that 10 million naira now, he'll start doing sorry guys, I'm styling my hair as well. I'm styling my wig. He'll start making money, and his daughter is just confused like that, because to her it's more like, this person does not like you, I'm telling you, because this person wants you to go to jail. How is it possible that you, of all people, somebody would colobi 10 million naira and give it to you? Just like that, and you're not asking yourself question. And to him, it's because these people believe in him. In as much as his daughter, his own family does not believe in him, these people, on the contrary, believes in him, and he's very excited about it. He's going upstairs, singing, dancing, rejoicing. And his daughter is just laughing because she can predict her father's future. She's making her aunt to understand that by now you ought to know your brother-in-law. Yes, I thought by now you knew that this man can never, come up with anything good. But Teresa is seeing it as if this girl is being rude. The girl is not being rude. She's just being honest and being careful. Because she knows her dad. She made her aunt to understand that the same way he's happy, that is the same way we are going to cry in this house. And the cry is going to be loud, because her father was really singing loud. He was screaming. But to Teresa, it's more like Benita dislikes her dad. She prefers her mother and all the rest. See, people should understand that it's not even like or dislike. The next thing shows Jonathan, who enters his room like a spear. He's very happy. He's singing. He's rejoicing. Because he sees himself. He's calling himself the millionaire. And he said very soon he will be a billionaire. Yes, he's seeing himself succeeding in the deal, making 50M, impressing people, because that's what he does. He wants to always impress people. And this girl, Benita, the next thing shows Benita, who is telling her aunt that, I'm surprised though. Benita is surprised at her aunt. She's surprised at the fact that her aunt does not still understand her dad till date. She's surprised at the fact that her aunt always feels like her dad, will surprise her. Not knowing that her dad, will always be that person that cannot make it in life. Yes, so her dad cannot make it in life. And the earlier her aunt understands this, the better. She said now that she's sitting here, she's just waiting for police to come this house and arrest her father, because she knows that her father will fail in the business, whether her aunt likes it or not. But Teresa being Teresa is still doubting. The next thing shows Jonathan, who is screaming, at the top of his lungs in his bedroom, screaming for passerby to hear that he is a future millionaire. How he's going to make money, how he has made money, how this has happened. He's already thinking, he sees himself maybe buying planes in future. Oh my God, I can't believe this. This is crazy, like us. Honestly, this is crazy. I dislike it when it is people that are very close to us that are doing this to us, because what this Emeka guy is trying to do is really wrong. It's really bad. So the next thing shows Emeka, who has succeeded in his stuff. He's sitting, waiting patiently for the guy that he sent to deposit the 10 million into Jonathan's account, because it happens that 10 million, Emeka was the one who sent it. That money, it's money that Emeka is supposed to use for a project. Yes, Emeka is supposed to use that money for a project, a contract, the same thing. It was Emeka's contract, but he sent it to Jonathan so that Jonathan would run him the errands. You understand? Because he has plans for Jonathan. Jonathan is thinking it's his contract, not knowing that that contract is Emeka's contract. Yes. So he just ran an errand for Emeka for free. And now Emeka, the 10 million that they deposited into his account, or the 10 million that was supposed to be given to Emeka, that they gave to Emeka to buy, they purchase the things, and everything. So Jonathan is working for Emeka without knowing, and he's not even going to get a dime. So the guy brought the documents of the car, because Emeka, Jonathan deposited his car as collateral for the 10 million. And Emeka is just happy because he knows that he has cornered Jonathan. Like, he has Jonathan exactly where he wanted him to be. This is sad. Like, as I cannot lie to you people, this is sad. This just shows us to be very careful. The next thing shows Jonathan and the engineer of the site, he went to take their list, for purchase. He went to take it and making sure that he's going to buy the top materials in the market, because that's what the engineer is telling him, that they can only deal with top materials, nothing less, like premium or nothing. Yes, it is premium or nothing, and like that is it. That is just it. And Jonathan is assuring them that he himself is Mr. Premium, so he's definitely bringing them. That is what he's bringing to them, premium materials and everything. So to Jonathan, he's so innocent, not knowing that all of this is being played. There's somebody that's playing him in the background. I feel so bad for him. So the next thing shows Jonathan the next day, who bought the materials, and now he's bringing all the receipts and everything. Already they didn't show, but they have cross-checked the materials. They're all original and they've kept it. Now they are going through the receipts, and the guy told him that it will take 5 working days for the payment, but you have to go and meet their HR and everything. You see, like us, this is sad. I cannot lie, this is sad. I just wish this guy, could take a chill pill and cool down, to check things before being so excited, because he is being exploited just because of his stupidity. It's rather unfortunate. Yes, it's unfortunate that his own friend is playing him like this. And now the engineer called Emeka to make him understand that everything is set. The materials are with me, like with him and everything. That Jonathan did exactly what they wanted him to do and all the rest. So Emeka eventually wants him to bring the materials, like to bring the documents and everything to him with the materials. So he did. So like us, it's really sad. I don't know, no matter what Jonathan did, I don't think he deserved this from Emeka, because he trusts him. So Emeka still revealed to this guy that the order Jonathan is buying is his order that he has to go and supply somewhere else. So Jonathan just did the errand for him, and he's going to supply his goods. Then later now they will have to start putting pressure on Jonathan, to provide everything, and that's where his car will have to go. You see, like, this is crazy. Like us, I'll have to end this video. It is really sad. That's why they say do not, you have to be careful with the way you work with people. Because not everyone who is saying my friend, my friend, my friend is really your friend. There are some people who will be shouting my friend, my friend, my friend, but I promise you those people want your downfall. we should be very careful. Jonathan, Emeka is not a good person, and I wish Jonathan could understand that. I wish Jonathan could really see Emeka for who he is, because he's not a good person. He's just a user, So like even the engineer is shocked the lies when he hears that all of this, is to ruin Emeka. He's surprised, like he wants to really know what, like, sorry, to ruin Jonathan. He wants to know what Jonathan really did against Emeka that is making him this pissed, because it's crazy. Like who should be careful, because I cannot lie to people. The worst people that your downfall could come from are the closest ones to you. It's terrible. Protect your mental health as always. Protect, because check out your surroundings, because most of the time our enemies are from within. They are not even external. So like us, we are going to end it today. Thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate you guys, and on this note, I'll have to say bye guys.